The date is July 5th, 1968. Colonel Carl Crumpler is flying over Vietnam in his F-4 Phantom when he is shot down and captured by the North Vietnamese. Can you describe your last mission just before you were shot down?
My last mission before I was shot down was number 44. And it was on the 5th of July, so we'd had a regular base 4th of July celebration the day before. We took off about 3 in the afternoon, refueled over Laos, and then proceeded into North Vietnam. And we were basically on a road recce, which meant that we were looking for a target, that we did not have an assigned target. So after a period of time, the leader, I was flying in the number 2 position because the leader had just come back from the Marine Corps, an exchange tour, and he needed a checkout in North Vietnam, so I was checking him out, so to speak, and I rolled in on a target which I thought was a large gun emplacement, and I got shot down by ground fire, basically.
How long did you evade the North Vietnamese after you were shot down?
About 20 minutes total. I often joke that it was like landing on the 50-yard line at the Rose Bowl. There were guns in all directions, and there were people, Vietnamese militia in all directions, so they quickly encircled me and then closed the circle, and of course that was it. I hid under a bush for a short period of time, but then I was captured.
How long were you on the Ho Chi Minh Trail, and what was it like?
The Ho Chi Minh Trail is a mountain road through the very western part of North Vietnam and often crossing into Laos. It's it's a series of potholes which they call a road. It's through the jungle, and it took us from about the 12th to the 13th of July until the end of the first week in August to reach Hanoi.
The Hanoi Hilton, as referred to by the POWs, was infamous during the Vietnam War for its torture and interrogation rooms. Can you describe the conditions at the Hanoi Hilton?
The conditions at the Hilton depended on 2 or 3 factors. One, the time of your arrival. Back in 66 and 67, 65, 66 and 67, it was a brutal place to be. The interrogations were brutal. And most of the senior officers, people in my grade and above, were placed in solitary confinement almost immediately upon arrival.
What were you feeling when you stepped back on American soil after your release?
Total elation. I don't think you can describe the feeling that you have when first you go what we used to call feet wet, when the C-141 that brought us out actually was across the coastline and was out over the ocean. We knew we were freed, and consequently that was a feeling of great elation among all the people. We shouted, screamed, and what have you.
Did you have any cellmates while you were in prison?
Cellmates?
Yes.
Yes, I had, after 16 months in solitary, they put me in with 2 naval aviators, Admiral Byron Fuller and Captain Ken Koski.
How were you treated by the U.S. people when you came back?
Wonderfully. I can't say enough about our homecoming. It was just one of the the high points of the experience. Unlike other people that had come back from Vietnam and were treated very poorly, we were really wined and dined and in demand as speakers and things that most of us had never done a lot of in our life.
Colonel Crumpler was not alone in the struggle. His wife Jane had 4 kids back in the United States. What was it like being married to a prisoner of war?
Well, at first he was missing in action for 2 years, so I really didn't know if he were alive or not. And then after 2 years I got a letter, and it said it was 5 lines, and I recognized the writing, and I knew it was him.
These are basically pajamas. The whole Oriental world in Vietnam was in some ways clothed in pajamas, and we were part of the parade, I guess, because once we got there, we were stripped of our flying equipment and our flying clothes and given 2 sets. This is the small set that we wore daily almost, and this is the overblouse. You just put it over your head, and about once a week the wash water that you used on your body, you could wash your clothes. But we also had a longer set that went over the top of these, which they used for interrogations and any time you met with the authorities.